Hi, this is Mandy Mayer, and this is EDL 959, Module 8, Competency-Based Learning. Standard-based learning is an intentional way for teachers to track their students' progress and achievements while focusing on helping students learn and reach their highest potential. It is based on students showing signs of mastery or understanding various lessons and skills. It focuses on learning and helps increase achievement. It is often combined with updated instructional practices and culture to better engage students and foster a positive environment. Traditionally, teachers focus on teaching or the attempt to deliver knowledge. In standard-based learning, they also measure student learning to understand the effectiveness of instruction. It breaks down the subject matter into smaller learning targets. Each target is a teachable concept that students should master by the end of the course. Teachers track student progress, give appropriate feedback, and adapt instruction to meet student needs. Grading is based on demonstration of mastery. Students attempt standard-aligned activities such as projects, presentations, worksheets, quizzes, etc. Teachers assess the student output and choose the appropriate mastery level that was demonstrated. Typical scales are 1 to 4 and reflect students' increasing skills. 1s indicate that the students have little understanding of a concept and cannot demonstrate any mastery. When starting a new target, many students have little understanding of a concept and consequently cannot demonstrate any mastery. When students starting a new target, many students have no prior knowledge and begin at 1. As students learn, they can demonstrate partial mastery and score 2. Once they meet a target, they score 3. Typically, 4s are used for students who exceed targets. Standards-based learning is powerful because it provides a framework to regularly measure student progress. When teachers have continuous understanding of students' mastery, they can adapt instruction to better meet students' needs. At any time, they can identify the student at a level 3, 2, or 1, so they can offer assignments that are appropriate for that level. Students at level 1 receive practice and activities to help them reach level 2, and so on. This causes education to be more effective and engaging. In standard-based learning environments, better feedback accelerates learning. Instead of giving scores like 9 out of 10 or 85%, teachers give feedback about the tasks performed and the skills used. This helps students understand their current areas of improvement and where they need to focus their efforts in order to improve. This positive environment speeds learning and students reach higher levels of achievement, all while being deeply engaged and enjoying school. Teachers can also use this feedback opportunity to improve instruction, since they're able to see if the majority of the class is having difficulty understanding a standard. Students have ownership in their education when learning targets are written in student-friendly language so that they can understand the goals of instruction. This allows students to understand the path to success and enables them to better engage in their learning. When working on an activity, they can self-assess and reflect on their own performance. They can identify areas of improvement and self-direct their activities. Teachers better understand student mastery. At any time, they know which students are at level 1, 2, or 3. This helps teacher offer level-appropriate work. This helps make learning relevant for all students and prevent some students from getting bored because the pace is too slow, or others confused because the instruction is too fast. In standard-based learning, scores go up as students learn. Final grades are reflective of mastery at the end of the course, so there is little penalty for early mistakes. No one event can ruin their grade. This creates an emotionally safe environment where students are encouraged to stretch themselves, make mistakes, and learn. The ability to reach mastery is celebrated versus the focus on the number of mistakes made along the way. Standard-based learning also provides clear criteria for measuring mastery. Mastery of low-complexity work yields lower grades, while mastery of higher complexity work provides higher grades. Connecting grades to complexity rather than percentage completion yields more accurate and consistent grades. Students understand why they receive each score. They get a breakdown of how they performed on each standard that details their level of proficiency. Competency-based learning is an approach to education that focuses on students' demonstration of desired learning outcomes as central to the learning process. It is concerned chiefly with students' progression through curriculum at their own pace, depth, etc. As competencies are proven, students continue to progress. A key characteristic of competency-based learning is its focus on mastery. Students are not allowed to continue until they have demonstrated mastery of the identified competencies. By focusing on what you know rather than how much time you spend learning, competency-based education puts you in control of your education like never before. Instead of working at an instructor's pace, students use their existing knowledge to work at their own pace. Students prove mastery of competencies whenever they are ready to do so. While the goal of competency-based learning is to ensure that more students learn than what they are expected to learn, the approach can also provide educators with a more detailed or fine-grained information about the student learning process, which can help them more precisely identify academic strengths and weaknesses, as well as the specific concepts and skills students have not yet mastered. Competency-based learning approach greatly improves the chances that student will learn the most critically important knowledge, concepts, and skills students will need throughout their lives. It can eliminate persistent learning gaps, achievement gaps, and opportunity gaps. It holds all students to the same high standards regardless of their race, ethnicity, gender, or socioeconomic status. The simple idea of standards-based learning is to ensure transparency in all elements of the teaching and learning process: curriculum, instruction, assessment, and reporting. In curriculum, standard-based learning requires educators to articulate clear learning goals that identify what students should learn, or the content, and what they should be able to do, what that looks like. Effective learning goals always include both of these components. These goals are then shared with everyone involved: students, families, teachers, school leaders, and community members. Standard-based learning is a simple idea. Complexity comes from its implementation. To successfully implement standard-based learning requires that we keep the simple purpose of transparency in mind while adapting to the unique and complicated contextual characteristics of different classrooms and schools. Implementation efforts won't succeed by making this simple idea more complex, but by finding new and better ways to apply the idea in widely varied and highly diverse school settings. I chose standard-based learning because I focused on the pre-K to grade level band. I believe that this age group needs guidance and more support than the middle school and high school students. By guiding their learning using standards, but differentiating their task based on their ability, all students can succeed and gain in their understanding of a skill or concept. Standards establish clear goals. They allow teachers, students, parents, and administration to speak the same language around expectations. They create consistency across teachers, schools, districts, and states. They don't tell you what to teach, just what skills and knowledge students should master by the end of each concept, unit, or grade level. In order to implement into our district, we must follow a few guidelines. First, we must establish understanding of what the standards tell us. Make sure teachers understand each standard thoroughly and where it fits into the overall education journey across the subjects and grade levels. For standards to work, we must clearly understand where students need to be by the end of the school year and what concepts and skills they need to master before they get there. We need to provide meaningful professional development and time for teachers to work together to develop a clear understanding of what each standard means. Next, we must understand that every student has an educational journey from kindergarten to 12th grade, from English to science to math. Bringing those together in a coherent way is called alignment. Vertical alignment is about how the topics flow from one subject and grade to another within the school system. Horizontal alignment is about making sure those grade level standards are the same across teachers and schools. Alignment across standards starts with sitting down, identifying where they are, the shared goals, and working as a team to support these goals in a consistent way. We need to schedule time for this to happen in our school and in our district, and then provide the necessary professional development needed. This professional development could be different for each teacher to give them the skills to be able to make this alignment happen. After creating alignment, now it is important to think about how to plan each lesson. We need to provide meaningful professional development, even if it's just time to observe other teachers teaching the same standards, on a wide range of educational strategies to help teachers be able to convey the standards and concepts that students will build over time. Pick one subject or area to focus on first. Really work together to get it well. Really dive into changing teaching strategies to allow students to navigate their learning based on their mastery of a skill or a concept. Next, assessments help teachers know what a student understands and if they can apply what they've learned. Rubrics are common because they not only tell students what is expected of them from the get-go, but they give teachers a consistent way of evaluating progress toward learning objectives, both in a snapshot view and tracked over time. Again, time is needed, and even professional development should be given to teachers to help them develop the rubrics that they will be using. Standards give us data that we can use year to year or even within the same class to measure how things are really going in the classroom. Each assessment and each test provide insights that can help teachers and schools make changes in the classroom in real time and build stronger curriculums next year too. Better data also means better feedback on a per student basis. Knowing how far a student has progressed down their learning path means the teachers can provide more directed suggestions for student performance and guide them more effectively to meet those standards. We must provide time and resources for teachers to be able to effectively implement standard-based learning. This implementation cannot happen overnight. It will take strategic planning and implementation. Teachers should be involved in this process. But when it's implemented correctly, all will benefit. Teachers and students, the school, and district-wide, when given the opportunity to make changes that will benefit student learning. Here are my resources. Thank you.